In website design, there's a lot of one-trick ponies. And what I mean by one-trick pony is you design a great section and you can never do it again. Not because you don't have the ability, because once you've done that design, you do it a second time, it's not special. The next section we're going to do is such a design. I want to show it to you before we start. See if you can figure out which direction we're going with it or how you would have done it differently. Here we go. This is the section, background. It's parallax, CSS fixed, and then you just have these words in here. And this is almost like values that you are expressing for this coffee shop. So when people see this atmosphere, family, boutique, life, it gives them a feeling of what your shop is all about, your coffee shop. Can you figure out how we're going to do it? Let's dive into Divi 5 and make the magic happen. Click at the bottom to add a new section, and we are going to bring in 4 columns. Let's scroll down. Let's not bring in anything yet and see what we've got here at the bottom. Let's start by making this a full width section. The full width section actually happens at the row level. Select the row, which is the green container. With the row settings open, go to design, go to sizing, and have a look at what's going on over here. The width is set to 80% and the maximum width is set to 1080. This is your default canvas container width that Divi 5 gives you. This maximum width changes. It sometimes is 1 to 80. I mean, it changes from page builder to page builder. Different page builders do different settings here. Some do 1140. It changes, and Divi 5 has locked us, but not locked us in, at 1080. What I figured out how to make this container and the contents within it full width, you need to change both of these settings here. The first one, we put it on 100, and you can put it on %. For safety reasons, I'll go to viewport width, because now we are working with the entire screen, not just the canvas area. And I'll do the same for the max width, 100, V, VW, W, V and W. Now you see everything stretches nicely. Next, I want to remove the space between the columns. And that space is the gap, and it's applied at the row level. With the row selected, which it currently is, go to Layout, Horizontal Gap, and it has been put at 5.5%. You can just type in a 0. And if you want to be extra careful, you can put it on pixels. No change, no result. And the last thing we're going to do is remove the padding at the top and the bottom for this section, and that is section. Select the section until you see the blue box. Go to spacing, and at the top you type in 0 for the top padding, and we link it for the bottom. And now we have this container here. With your section selected, and you can see it selected here in the layers panel on the left, as well as here in the top. In the options panel on the right, you see it says section. Now we set the height of the section. I'll do that manually. Go to sizing, and for the height, minimum height, I'll just go to height 750 pixels. I'll scroll here on the canvas. So what you can see here is that the blue box is now a height of 750 pixels, but our row is stuck there at the top. And the row is waiting for the content to come in to start growing. But I'm going to play a little trick on the row. I'm going to tell the row, I want you to stretch the whole height of the current section. Go to the row and select the row, and I'll do that from the layers panel on the left, easier to find it. And under sizing, size, go to this option, grow to fill, and it's going to fill the parent container. Select, and look at that. This one, which is shrink to fit, is still selected. Very strange. We just want grow to fill. And now I've achieved my columns height. They're all stretched. And what we do next is to work just on one column. But before we do that, we bring in our image and we do it at the section level. Make sure you select a section, go to Content, Background, and then select your background image, add background image, and I bring it in. This one over here. Upload an image, and my image drops in nicely. And with that, it gives you a lot of context as to where we are heading, and it feels good. We're doing something here. Below the image, use parallax effect, and you want to choose parallax method CSS. That gives you that one that is fixed in the back. Most page builders will just call this fixed. This is CSS within Divi 5. To keep consistency, we add the gradient overlay. Select background gradient, add background gradient, and I'll scroll down and first say place gradient above background image. Select the first color stop, and we choose this one, the 80, gradient 80, that we had set up a while ago, and the same for this one. Let's work on the contents within the column. Add new module or row. We go to the first column, select, and I'll use text. When I'm not using something for H1 or H6, you don't touch the heading. Anything that you just want normal paragraph, you go for the text. Select that. With it selected, let's go and change the color, design, text, and we're going to put the color over here on this Snow Bright that we've created. Now I'll go to content and I'll switch it out, and this one we will call atmosphere. Design, start at the top. It is on Rubik, which is what I want it for, but for my text font weight, I will put that on bold. Let's go down. I'm going to leave the text font style. Text size, 36 pixels. Letter spacing, yeah, but then I go to text align and I'll put it in the middle. And that's all I need to do for this one. I'm not going to make a preset, one trick pony, and I will duplicate it for these columns. If you're going to repeat it across the site, then you create a nice preset for it. Some will say you always create a preset. I sometimes say that, but then I go ahead and I hardly do it. But that is it. To get it nicely here in the middle, we have to tell the parent container to align it, and that is the column. From the layers panel on the left, I'll go and select the column, layout, its down direction, justify content, and put it center. At this point, I want to have a look at how this is going to look on tablet and mobile device. Tablet. Okay, we'll get to something I'll show you later. And phone. I'm just checking how the text element looks there, and it looks good. With all of this, we now bring in those dividers, and that's done at a section level. Select section, and under design, I'll close layout and dividers second from the top. First divider, and I'll choose the top divider. Change the color. Sometimes the color doesn't translate to the front, so make sure you choose the right color. I want this color of the divider to match the color of the previous section, so it's a nice flow. And that was this one, Snow Bright, so I select it. Same for the bottom. In the panel on the right, select bottom. I choose the same one, change the color to Snow Bright, and then go to divider flip, and it's a vertical flip. Now we have this nice perspective look that it creates. Once we've done this, let's head back to the first column. Select the column, go to border, border width, put it on 5, pick a color, and we pick again Snow Bright. Now we get that nice line that runs through the image. Have a look quickly at tablet. To this level here in tablet, you see there is this space here. And this space is applied on a vertical gap will be the row level. If I go back and I just select the row, go to layout, we put the horizontal gap on 0. Let's also put the vertical gap on 0. On desktop, this is not going to make any change because there is nothing here vertically. When we now go, you'll see that that bar, that space has been removed. That was the vertical gap. And the same is going to happen here on mobile device. Back to desktop. What we do next is we are going to delete these 3 columns and then duplicate this column. Select the row, go to content, elements, and delete the 3 columns from here. Much easier done in the options sidebar. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Let's change it out. We set family, boutique. I think let's put life here to balance it, and then boutique. You can decide if you want to bring in animation. Doesn't work very well on this one trick pony, but you could decide if you want to add a little bit of animation for the text. Now, tablet. Look at this. Not bad, right? I think it can actually work on the tablet. A very strange design, but it gives you a feeling, and again, you have that image in the background. And then for the mobile device, we add a little bit of padding here at the top and at the bottom. Select the first column while you're in the mobile view, design, spacing, and padding at the top. Let's add 50 and see how that works. Yeah, let's make it 100. There we go. And then select the last column, column number 4, and padding at the bottom and add 100. Interesting effect here. If you don't like how this looks on either the tablet or on the mobile device, you go ahead and you tell this section not to appear on those devices. Let's do that so you can also see where those settings are. With your section selected, I'll just do that. Go to Advanced and Visibility. And you will see it says here disable on desktop, tablet, and phone. But I want to show you what happens if you were to go to tablet. It gets grayed out. Strange feature. It would have been nice if they allowed us still to access it on these different levels so that I can compare yes or no while I'm here. But you can only do the visibility setting on the desktop level. Go there and I say disable on tablet and phone. Scroll, move down to tablet, it's grayed out, and the same for mobile devices. No option here to hide it while you are working. It will still remain on the page, but it is grayed out. Let's have a look on the front end then. Save our work, go to our page, reload it, and this is the front end we are working with. Scroll to the bottom, and a nice section. Impressive. It's like a Euro grand section. Hit F12 on your keyboard to open the inspector, and let's go to responsive view. Click here. Where is it? There. And then from here, I will select iPhone 12 Pro, scroll down, and we don't see it because we had disabled it. And the same for iPad Air. No appearance. I will go ahead and disable this visibility because I want to keep it in for the design. And let's go back to the front and reload. Scroll to the bottom, and there is our spectacular section. And the same for the iPhone 12 Pro. Before we wrap this chapter out, if you have a look here, and I'll close this section and then this section, this is too much space. It feels a little bit disjointed and falling apart there. We remove some of this space here between this section and our hero section. In Divi 5, what I'll do, click on the previous section and I'll remove the padding at the bottom. That is under Design, Spacing, Padding at the bottom, put it on 0. Make sure you do not link them, only the bottom. So the top remains at 100 pixels, the bottom is 0, and now it feels like this is a natural flow, almost like an arrow, showing us the shop. They're busy there making some nice coffee for us, some of the nice fudge cake over here, and gives you a feeling for the boutique little coffee shop.